Hey, what's cracking? Is AG the Dad, Shit Talking Sundays, fitness tip of the week. And we're here with Vince the Beast with Team Fitness Major, where every day is Shit Talking Sundays, especially if you're not worried about your health. Because if you're not worried about your health, well, you might as well get a life insurance policy, leave some money to a loved one, because life for you won't be that long. So if you need a life insurance policy, no disrespect, because it is Talking Sunday, hit in the description link. There is AG Life life insurance. Click the link and you can get a free quote. But with that being said, let's get right to business with Vince the Beast with Team Fitness Major. What's going on, Vince the Beast?
Hey, how you doing, AG? I'm
Hey,
healthy
man,
and well, brother.
Yeah, man. Life is good. Kinda. I mean, you always want to look at the positive things in life, so
Absolutely. I like
we
the new avatar at the top right here in the corner.
the Fly, McFly. That's AG Fly, man. That's my
AG Fly, what's up with you, AG Fly?
That's my NFT. Somebody want to buy that NFT and get that ball moving. It's for sale. So and there's a whole squadron of flies. We got FWA, flies with attitude.
Okay.
We got Easy Fly. Go to shittalkingsundays.com. There's a comic book down in there that you could check out. Man, if you're a new artist, new talent, and you want some publicity, man, reach out to AG the Dad. Here's my email address, and man, I'll feature you on my website, man. I'm always down to put a new talent out there in the world. So,
right.
But so what we gonna learn today, man? I'm always anxious to learn. I'm trying to get I'm squeezing every minute every second out of you that I can of this free 90 free. You know what I'm saying? So any of y'all
393,
that's,
man.
in that
Free
chat
for
room,
me.
chime in. If you want that, free, uh, you know, training, or, or excuse my dogs. I got Django and Hildy with me in the room. But if you want more one-on-one type stuff, then man, hit that right there, right now. That's his right on his hip. So if you want to interrupt the show, be part of the show, call that number. It's live. There's no hiding nothing we doing. So that's live. Or if you want to be a little bit more incognito, you can email him, teamfitnessmajor@gmail.com or teamfitnessmajor.com, and check out his website. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Try not to melt, man. This heat.
Hey, that's why I'm in studio and not in the gym. I know we've been talking about meeting up, man, and we really do need to get in there. So I'm gonna put it on you. Set it up. Just let me know when you want me
We
to
just need to
appear.
find a place. That's all. That's all I'm waiting on. I've had a couple people hit me up asking me about when you guys going to do the workout. So yeah, I mean, really, it's just finding the locale, and I'm there. I'm ready to go.
I mean, you choose a gym. Any one of the gyms you practice at, we'll just go. You know what side of town I'm on, and I'm I'm down. Let's make it happen. We're not gonna talk about it no more. We're gonna be about it. We're gonna show y'all how it really make it happen. AG the dad has I'm not gonna say I'm fully recovered from my concussion, but I feel like I'm recovered enough that I'm ready to get started, man. It's time to get this dad bod on that ab circle. You know what I'm saying? Because dad bods are not supposed to be big bellies. I don't care, women. You can comment, you can email me, you can talk all the shit you want, but I'm letting you know, dad bods. Don't let people confuse you into thinking that dad bods and being out of shape is cool, because it ain't. Hell no. Once again, they just trying to take your life insurance policy, man. They just want to be the beneficiary. So live long and see if you can outlive them. If they don't want to work out, they ain't got to work out. Put a life insurance policy on them if they lazy. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It sounds morbid, but hey, it is what it is. But come on, man, let's get into it. What we talking
Hey,
about today?
hey. All right. And yeah, shout out to Miss Warriors staff. Appreciate you always.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so happy that we're on today because um, every week is always a great week to talk about this stuff. But at the same time, it's so important. As we talked about last week. If you haven't listened to the show, please go back and check the past shows. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, like, do all the above. Don't pick one, two, or three. Do all of them for all the shows and past and present. Support the channel, support the show, support the host, support the guest host, support everything. Because this is all about a movement to help you overcome any of your struggles or any problems or answer any questions or that you may have. So please feel free to definitely do that. So, but without that being said, without stopping, and before we get to the thing, I really want to talk about the importance of continuing your journey, continuing your workout. Well, I talked about it last week because most people are in three different categories. Either you're still in pre-contemplation, you're thinking about it, you're thinking about it, you're thinking about it. You started going, but you don't know what to do, or you started going, you've been going for a little bit, you reached some success, and now you're plateauing. So all these are great reasons to continue going and to reach out and to get help in all these directions. So most people fall in those three categories. So I really want to emphasize to uh, either start now or continue, and don't fall off the wagon and keep this path going. But today we're going to talk about unilateral versus bilateral exercise. Of course, most people may not know what that means, so let me break it down for you. We talked about this a little bit before when it comes to stability training, unilateral training, basically doing training one side of the body. Um, what I mean, so for instance, if you're doing a dumbbell press, or most dumbbell, our dumbbell, well, pretty much all dumbbell exercises actually. So when you're doing the dumbbell exercises, it's typically a unilateral exercise. So if you're doing chest press, each side is doing its own work. So, and then if you're talking about bilateral, so basically that's both sides. So if you think about the same bench press, but now you're using a bar, a bar for your bench instead of dumbbells, or instead of bands, or instead of cables. So I'm gonna weigh in. I'm gonna just hit a little bit about the two different versions, why they are important, and it's one better than the other. So again, before don't forget to check us out. We do free consultations, like your boy AG Dad said. So hit the line up, hit the either for a free consultation, hit the phone number. See the number right here, or check us out teamfitnessmajor.com so that you can do your free quiz and free consultation and get a survey in to kind of see what is the best fit for you and how we can best work with you to help you achieve and create a better you. So let's talk. Also, don't forget to mention. You can always hit AG up too live. Also, hit that number you see right there. So, so there's so many ways for you to reach out and get in contact and get connected, and that's the main thing. That's how you get started, by getting connected, and getting your story out and seeing if there's something that we can do to help you, to motivate you, to keep you pushing forward. So unilateral, some of the best things about it, some of the better things about unilateral training, of course, is you're working individual sides, even though you might be doing the same exercises. So everyone has, I spoke before, everyone has a dominant side and a weak side, and the benefit of that is unilateral training is knowing and finding out which side. If you don't know, most people know, most people can already tell that they're dominant on one side or the other. But the benefit of it is to actually
Hey,
go ahead.
just to let you guys out there know, um, if you don't know which side your dominant arm is, just think on the level of Rosie or Rosita. Okay. Whichever one you use the most, that's your dominant hand. Okay. If it's Rosie, it's your right hand. If it's Rosita, it's your left hand. Okay. Just making sure we all understand. Okay. Shit talking Sundays, man. I just got to make sure that people, understand. Back to what you were saying, man.
Hey, whatever analogy you need to recognize and remember that, um, go for it. It's your personal thought process when it comes to this. But unilaterally, though, you create that balance when it comes to your weak side and your strong and your dominant side. So creating that balance creates a lot of factors, because one, it helps you become overall stronger. It also helps you to stimulate a different surge of neuromuscular confusion, because now you're not just having to focus on lifting or pushing or pulling the weight, but now you have to worry about that balance individually on each side. So by doing that, it creates a different neuromuscular response, and which means that it forces your body to adapt. So now your body has to burn more calories, so you can burn more fat, and you can tone and build more, because you're pushing your body in your body's getting all these different levels of confusion between left side, right side, control, balance, and of course the strength aspect of it. But one thing I definitely want to emphasize about unilateral training: you do not want to do different size weights. Meaning, if you're a right hand dominant and you're doing bicep curls, you don't want to grab a 30-pound dumbbell for your left side and grab a 45-pound dumbbell for your right side. I know that your dominant side may get bored or may not feel like you're getting as much work, but it's not always about getting sore and overexerting your whole body when it comes to unilateral training. You want to get that other side to catch up. Now, if you're constantly increasing the weight on your left and your right, different weights, you're going to constantly pull yourself towards that imbalance. And you don't want and you don't want to have, especially if it's your dominant side. A lot of times, typically your dominant side is stronger, so you might progress faster on your dominant side. So you don't want to have, in the case of doing bicep curls, you don't want to have your right arm being 2 inches bigger than your left arm, because because you're doing your dominant side over, you're adding different weight sizes in regards to your dominant and your weak side. So you always need to operate based on the weak side strength. So as much as you can do on the weak side, that's what you do on the strong side. And after a couple months, you will see that that weaker side has caught up. May not be 100%, but it has made strides in growth to catch up and to be more like that dominant side. So you think about those that like to run, or if you think about a fighter, if you think about people that have to constantly switch and maneuver, um, are those benefits of having that weaker side catch up is going to make a huge difference in your performance and in your whatever your goals are, and overall your abilities. You also think about it on a lesser scale for those people that may be geriatric or may be um, suffering from a post injury, uh, or just having muscular issues, to where you have to now create that dominance, that balance. So the benefits of doing that obviously is to, like I said, as you get older, to be able to still function good on both sides, head to toe. So even doing things like I said, for instance, like a leg exercise, doing single leg press, or single leg hamstring curl, or single leg extension, for those that may have blood flow issues. That's another. Or for those that may have issues with their balance, or for people that may um, have just have start fatiguing on one side as opposed to the other. Doing unilateral training is going to help create that balance as you get older, so you don't have to worry about stepping out of the tub and slipping and falling, hurting yourself, or walking across a field or a lawn and it being an unstable surface. Because now that weaker side is going to build up. Plus, it's going to create more blood flow. So, like I said, those that may have muscular issues or may have blood flow issues, getting blood down to your lower extremities can be a problem, especially if you are suffering from any post injuries or if you're overweight. Um, so, building that balance is so vitally important in that aspect. Those are some of the great benefits for that. And before we get further on, I did see a couple questions in here. So let me see. If one side of your body is weaker, arm, leg, than the other, what would you, what you work that side only and not the stronger side? Would you work that side only? No, you don't want to. Um, I probably just hit on that. You don't want to have just one. You don't have. Conversely, you don't have one side doing all this work, and then the other side, your dominant side, you're not doing anything. Because if you do that, then the other side is going to start become dormant, and it's going to start to get weaker. And then you might create an instance where you are having your weaker side, now your stronger side, and your other side has to catch up all over again. So those are one. That's one reason why. You also don't want to do that. It's just like if you've ever had a massage and they massage one side. So say you have right shoulder pain, or you go to physical therapy and you have a right knee injury. They don't just have you work on the right knee, or they don't just massage the right shoulder. They want to massage both sides again to keep that flow and keep that balance. And one of the benefits with unilateral training is, and this is, I'm not gonna get all sciencey on you, but you can not that you transfer as far as the like strength, or I mean not as far as you transfer like how it looks or develops, but you do have a certain transfer of strength and abilities, really, and blood and neuromuscular flow from one side to the other. So only time I would say, obviously the only time that you would do one side and not the other is if, say, you have a broken arm, so you can't use that arm, or if you have a dislocated shoulder, or of course if you like break a foot, or you injure your kneecap where you can't exercise that one side. That's the only time. But it's good to do that other side, irregardless if that's your weak or your dominant side, because it's going to help your that transfer that I just mentioned. But other than that, you should always work both sides of your body. You should always work the upper and the lower parts of your body. So good question though, because I've heard that before. People have asked that before. So then it brings me to bilateral. So bilateral training is obviously, like I said, like um, you're doing a bench press, or if you think about you're doing a barbell back squat, or if you're doing deadlifts. I mean, it can even be leg press and all the other factors too. But just speaking on those, the benefits of that, of course, is you create overall strength. Because now you're able to lift more, or you're able to do more volume. You're able to do more work. So your volume. When I say about volume, I mean, so let me see how to break it down. So you think about when you do an exercise program. Say it's leg day, right? We're going to talk about three basic exercises. We say you do, and on your leg day, you're going to do some deadlifts, you're going to do some squats, and you're going to do some leg press. So the volume is a combination of how many reps you do with how much weight you do. So I use me for instance. So deadlifts. Say I deadlift 3 sets of 10 reps with 225 pounds. So I'm not going to do the math today. don't even. But the math would be, you would calculate those 10 reps with the 25, 10 reps. So you're doing basically 30 repetitions with 225 pounds. And then you would also calculate that with your deadlifts, with your squats. So squats doing 245 pounds or 250 pounds. Leg press doing 500 pounds. So, and all of them are, say I'm in a hypertrophy phase. So this is 10 sets, 10 reps, 3 sets of each exercise. So now we're at nine sets, right? And we're doing 90 reps. And then you add that in with the amount of weight that you've done overall. So you would calculate the 500, you calculate the 225, you would calculate the 250. So that would be your overall volume. So you can volume load more weight, obviously, if you're doing both sides as opposed to one side. It's just like the fingers versus the fists. What is going to have more power? What's going to create more force? You're going to create more force if you're using both legs or if you're using both arms, as opposed to one. So if if your overall goal is to build more strength and our overall size, you know, that is some of the great benefits of doing bilateral training. Plus, you're able to do more, not just weight wise, but typically you'll be able to do more as far as sets and reps because eventually you're going to fatigue. So, the benefit of having both sides doing the work is that the other side can help aid. You don't want it to crutch it. You don't want to be where once the other side completely takes over, but you're able to aid in pushing that. You're able to get a little bit extra out of that exercise because you have the stronger side helping to contribute with your weaker side. So they all have benefits. A lot of it depends on your goal. And as far as calories expenditure, obviously if you're able to do more reps or if you're able to do more weight, then you're able to burn a lot more calories, able to burn more fat, and you're able to grow your muscles more, which in turn creates more calories burned throughout a workout. But they they kind of go hand in hand, at least with my training style and my programs, how I suggest it. Because again, if you create about a more of a balance in your strength, you're able to push more. So, but if you're not able to push more, you know, if you are just focusing on solely on working off the dominant side, when you do go to a unilateral training side, your weaker side is going to be more compromised. So it is so important to put both of those into different programs. You can tag team them a little bit. I mean, so say you will tag team them some if you do like a lunge and squats or lunge and leg press. You're obviously lunge is more of a singular leg exercise, but but you definitely want to highlight a program where you are bringing yourself to a balance. Now, those workouts typically gonna go 4 to 8 weeks, whereas a strength one may go 4 to 6 weeks, 5 weeks. Um, just because if you are doing, I mean, it depends on what type of program you're doing. If you're doing max strength, if you're doing hypertrophy, if you're doing explosive strength, some type of a real high explosive or high endurance strength, or a high output strength training, um, you will tend to fatigue out more as far as your joints. We talked about before your joints; they don't have the capillaries, they don't have the muscle, the tissues like you have in your muscle bellies, where you have more, you have fibers, you have tissue. So the recovery phase takes a little bit longer, and the soreness phase, you know, the ability to recover is lengthened as you continue to grow. Because if you're doing a strength training, it's typically going to be a linear program where you are increasing more weight, you're increasing more volume, you're increasing more sets. So you're putting more stress on the body. Whereas if you're doing singular, unilateral training, the muscles, they're going to get fatigued, but the recovery is not going to be as bad because you're not doing as much weight. And depending on what you do, typically when you do uh, unilateral training, a lot of times, at least we like to combine that with some stability training. So your compromise is going to be different because it's more about fatiguing and compromising or putting the muscles in your body in compromised positions from your stabilizer muscles, not necessarily your prime movers, not necessarily about it's more about stressing the muscles around your ankles, around your knees, around your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your core, as opposed to stressing your back, your chest, your thighs, your butt. So they all have great benefits and they all work in unison. And it is good to cycle through different. That's why we talk about program progression and program designing. It is good to cycle through those and revert back to this between that one and other ones, let's say unilateral and other ones, so that you can reevaluate and reassess yourself. So a quick story about what I did when I first started training. I changed up my routine because I never really did a unilateral training. So I did a full 6 week program of solely unilateral training, and this was when I was still in school. So before that, we did assessments, and I'm just going to bring highlight the leg press. So my leg press at that time, my max was 750, and I did a 6 week program with unilateral training. And when I reassessed, my weight went up 300 pounds. Now, of course, some of that is due to, just strengthening the muscles in general, but I've I've strengthened my both sides, front, back, and individually on each side. So again, I was talking about the volume, the output was higher. So just to give you a baseline understanding of what I mean by that. So my weight increased an extra 300 pounds on my max. So that's how I say how that say they go hand in hand and they tie together. So I don't know if you ever done unilateral training, AG, but it is definitely it is good for especially you start restarting up again,
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to stimulate not just muscle growth, but to stimulate your neuroreceptors, your joints, and it's just going to and your sister muscles, like the
Yep.
little intricate muscles that go attached to the big muscles. So
Right. No, I do unilateral training all the time after every bench press. I use the cable rows, stuff like that. But hey, I'm gonna put you down now. But this is Hildy, everybody.
hey, Hildy.
This is Hildy. Her and Django, Django Unchained. Uh, that's what they're from. But
She's the
anyway,
quiet one.
huh?
She's the
Yeah,
quiet one.
no, she's crazy. But we when I work out, I found that it helped immensely because you can control the weight better, not necessarily having to go real heavy. And when you come up, you can flex your chest for the presses, and then when you're doing the lunges and the leg press, you can kind of take deeper lunges and come up because it's not as heavy to control.
Mhm.
So yeah, I use it all the time. I definitely I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I'm sad because it is a good way to challenge your muscles without over over stressing them. Don't get me wrong, you can overtrain,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more challenging because you're going to get fatigued quicker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And another benefit of it is it lessens the chance of injury because you can't go as hard or as much as you want to as you would um, when you're doing a bilateral program.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But conversely, doing it bilateral, it really helps you to um, increase your overall and change your body composition. Um, especially if you are focusing on growing like size wise or building or picking up, gaining weight,
Mm-hmm.
picking up muscle, picking up more poundage when it comes as far as muscle. So, like I said, they both have a uniquely and valuable role, but they are two separate things that they do, even though it's both related to exercise and weight training, or even body weight. I mean, you can do body weight as well. What did she say?
Okay, I got it. As for me, my left is behind in strength because of relapses. Should I go easier on that stronger side or same weight and reps?
Another good question, and she have to check us out after. Obviously, say she had to go. So thank you again. Another great question. Um, no, I would say. Let me see. Let me go back. There was a couple things in that question. So Said that she found out her weak side. So what is that? Is that Rosita? That's Rosita, right?
Yep, that's the
So,
Rosita
so,
side
so, okay. Easier on that strong side or same weight
and
in
reps.
reps. Well, you're going to typically, you're not going to do a power per se. I mean, you can do power, but most people, unless you're an athlete, you don't really need power. You're not going to do overall strength or big strength training, like I just mentioned on the unilateral program, because you're just not. So you're not going to be able to do it. So when I say by max strength or strength, I'm meaning like you're only doing 3 to 6 reps. So you're going to do more reps, and just because of you're not going to be able to build a lift enough weights to get a 3 rep or 5 rep exhaustion of the muscle. So because and unless I mean there's some things, I'm wrong. There are some things like if you did like a leg press, or if you did a dumbbell or a barbell lunge, you can get it to a 3 to 5 rep max. I mean, it's a 3 to 5 rep set, program that's going to fatigue you, but most of the time, vast majority of the work, that's not going to be the case. You're going to have to do uh, 8, 12, 15 reps, maybe 20 reps, you know, depending on the style and what you're trying to accomplish. But you're going to that's going to be your number, typically 8 to 15 reps. Whereas with the bilateral, now you can really, like I said, you can change it. Like I said, when you do your max strength assessments, like I was talking about the leg press, you're typically, I mean, there's a couple of different ways, but it's typically going to be a 1 to 3 rep max, meaning that when you get to number 3, and we talk about my fitness scale, that's about it. You might be able to get one more, maybe 2 more reps in. But if you're maxing, you're pushing yourself to the max. Like it is, you can only do one more, maybe 2 more with good form. So and the safer, a little bit safer version is to do a 3 rep max. For obvious reasons, but I'll still explain. If you're doing a 1 rep max, you're doing one, maybe be able to do 2 with that weight. So obviously it heightens the higher weight is going to heighten the level of you um, risking injury. So you think no, a power lifter, um, an Olympic lifter. We ever watch the Olympics or watch Olympic lifters or strength or strong men? They're doing 1 rep. It's one time they try to push that weight or pull that weight one time. That's basically like your 1 rep max. Obviously, it heightens the risk of danger of injury. So they've started pushing and creating more for those typically that are, maybe you're somebody that is general fit, or maybe are a little bit higher than that. I want to test myself. I want to see where I'm at. I want to test my strength. I want to do my strength assessment. So I'm gonna do 3 reps because it's not as challenging and it's not as risky. I mean, unless you're doing something for one of those competitions, things like that, you don't really need to do 1 rep max. So a 3 rep max is a good gauge. Even if and you can even do a 3 rep max if you are not novice, but you're more intermediate, to where you have a bit of a fitness base and you just want to test yourself. Because again, it's going to be good safer. But with any of the assessments, I always say make sure you have 1 to 2, depending on the exercise, real good spotters. And I say good spotters because I know people see some of these videos where people have spotters and the spotters are failing, and the person ends up dropping the weight or injuring themselves, and it's like, what was the spotter doing? So definitely make sure you have a spotter or 2 when it comes to doing any type of those assessments. But A 3 rep max is a good assessment if you want to gauge yourself as far as how strong you are. Um, that's not my thing anymore because I don't really have a reason to as far as doing those assessments. But for those that want to, those are a few ways to do it, and I recommend the 3 rep over the 1 rep. Let's see, any more questions? None on the chat. Let me see. I think I had one that was text to me. Let me check.
Oh, okay.
When you do, okay. Oh, this was another good question. It was if you're doing unilateral,
Mm-hmm.
what is better for you? Is it cables or dumbbells? Um, and I say, as most of the time, it depends. It depends on your goals. Depends on what you're trying to do. Depends on what if you're at the gym, if you're working out at home, what you have access to. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But overall, does one work better than the other? Um, a lot of it is depending on the exercise that you do, because there's some exercises that you might do where. So let me think. So one good one would be like a tricep kickback or a tricep extension. So this is a tricep extension. Um, if you're doing it like that, right? So one of the great things with a band is that the tension is always there. Because now, if I'm in this position, right, where I'm doing it, I'm standing up. Um, and the problem with that on that muscle is I spoke about before. Gravity always points one way. It always goes down. Gravity is always pointing down. So if I'm here and if I have a dumbbell, where is the gravity on my tricep to resist it? It's not. Now, if you're laying down and you're doing skull crushers, which is same exact motion, then yeah, the gravity is going to be fighting you the whole way. But if you're standing up, and see a lot of people they doing cables, and unfortunately, I've even seen some people doing it standing up with dumbbells like this. I don't know what they're working on other than your shoulders, your traps,
That's the
deltoids.
hurrah. That's the hurrah, hurrah, hurrah.
Right,
Those are
exactly,
the people that go to concerts be like, yeah, 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 yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
That's what they're doing. Just like the guys at the club that are
yeah.
doing this.
Yeah,
All the,
yeah.
all the
See, look at y'all. Y'all got the dogs riled up. About to be a mosh pit up in here. Jago, come on, man.
But
It'll be like
the,
that.
the benefit of the cable is it's resistance here, it's resistance here, it's resistance here, it's
Mhm.
resistance throughout. So there's some exercises where the cable is constantly going to have you in time under tension zone, whereas with the dumbbells you might not.
Yeah.
So there's not. I mean, obviously with I didn't want to say obviously. I mean, with dumbbells you can lift more weight because it's actual weight, whereas the bands are a set of they have a level of tension, and there's different colors that provide higher tension. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not weight based, but it is tension based, which is good. And then also with dumbbells, one of the benefits is if you pick it up 15 pounds, it's 15 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
There's no getting around what it is. It's 15 pounds if of actual weight. Whereas with the bands, sometimes you might not be positioned right. What I mean, like if you have the band and there's a lot of slack, you're not getting the full tension of that
Right.
band. So you're not getting the full effect of using the band as whereas with a dumbbell, you're getting exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a one yet good or bad better what's better or not. They both have value. It depends on the individual and the application and the exercise. So
I noticed that when the MS Warrior was asking about should I go easier on one side over the other, um, what I noticed is when I did unilateral training, the weaker arm eventually caught up ish so that I can move up to the next weight. But the dominant arm was always stronger because it just that's just the way your genetic makeup is, unless all you do is unilaterally train just your weaker arm constantly until it overpowers it. Just like if you're throwing a ball, uh it's harder to throw a ball with this, the exact same accuracy with both hands unless you work with them both constantly.
Right.
But eventually they'll both catch up and be only as good as they can be, you know.
Right.
And even then, your weaker one will always be not as good as your dominant arm. So,
I mean, there are limits. I mean, that's a
yeah,
given. I mean, there's no way of getting around it. You have limitations. Even with your dominant side, you're going to have limitations.
right.
I mean, even taking it beyond that, one side of your hair is snappier than the other, or more coarse, however you want to put it. One side is thicker than the other. That's just how, like you said, that's just how our bodies are naturally created.
Yep.
Um, if we can have both sides as dominant, people would people would use the left hand, they use their right hand. They would never have like a one side or the other. They wouldn't have a dominant side. You'd be just doing whatever. Which okay, well this hand's free, so I use this hand this time. This hand's free. But one of the main benefits too of and bringing that up, which is good that you said that, is one of the benefits would be is building, because most people that weaker side stays weaker because you lack the confidence in it. So the more you practice it, the more you build it,
No.
the more you feel the results in that weaker side, the more confident you're going to be with that weaker side.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this is physical, but it is a mental game as well. So once you become mentally strong and start to get physically stronger, that's when you get that gap to where you feel more confident. Okay, well, I grab a dumbbell if I'm doing a single dumbbell exercise, or I'm doing say gobbler squats where you just holding the dumbbell here, or you're doing core work, and say I grab a heavier dumbbell, I feel confident grabbing it with my left side, off as much as I am with my right side, instead of or in the lesser case, say you're carrying groceries. You always carry your groceries on this side because this is your stronger side. You will
Mm-hmm.
start to carry it on your left side as well as your right side. A few things that you can practice for women, at least for women, you can practice putting your purse on the side. Don't just don't just wear it on one side. Really on the side. Not, I mean, obviously the well, some purses waste some good weight. You can do a workout,
Yes, they do.
but but it's just going to get you in that action of using your other side, so that your other side can so that you can be more comfortable with doing things on your other side. So that's one way that you can start practicing that. If you're in the gym, say if you do grab a dumbbell, or if you grab a medicine ball, or stuff that's only need to use one side on, you know alternate. I mean, however you want to do it. I mean, I'm not in the gym thinking about, okay, well, I grabbed the dumbbell with my right hand this time, I'm gonna grab my left hand this time. To just practice trying to do it, just trying to rotate. If you don't, and if you're not sure, here's what you do: make a conscious effort to most of the time grab it with your weak arm. If you make it, because it doesn't take any thought to use your dominant arm. So just say, okay, I'm gonna grab a medicine ball. I'm gonna grab a kettlebell. I'm just gonna grab them. I'm gonna grab it with my weak arm, and just make conscious effort. And then sometimes you're gonna forget, and then you'll grab it with your dominant arm. But the more that you practice remembering grabbing with your weaker arm, the more you're going to continue to grab it with your weaker arm, or use your weaker arm. The more confidence you're going to build up on that side. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like when you sign your name on a piece of paper. Uh, Very few people are ambidextrous. So normally you sign with your dominant hand. And if you try to sign with your opposite hand, I'm pretty positive that your signature is not going to match in most
No, well,
cases.
mine scribble either way, so
Yeah, you know.
you can't read
Oh,
mine either way, so it ain't gonna really matter much with me. But yeah, that is true. I mean, I've broken my strong arm twice. I was a kid, I was young, but I broke it twice within a year.
okay, okay.
So I had to learn a lot how to write and use my weaker arm.
So
Of
you were
course,
hard
it
headed.
didn't have the factors that I'm thinking about now,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to practice writing and stuff in school with my weak arm because I had another one in the cast. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were hard
and we
headed.
had the old school cast, the one that was just stiff, like that thing is not moving. You are not budging that.
Mm-hmm.
That is rocking. That's almost granite right there.
Hey, I got a fun fact for all y'all out there. The fact he says everything is different on your sides. One hand, your fingers, one finger is shorter than the other in most cases. And for fellas, one of your balls hangs lower than the other one. Just letting you know, fun fact. Shit talking Sundays. It's a fun fact. Ladies, if you didn't know it, you learned
You're gonna
something.
have all types of cats in the mirror now checking it out. Like, which side is dangling long? Which
What
one is
side is
which?
my balls dangling
Does that
harder
mean
out?
I got a stronger one on my one side than
Hey,
the
hey,
other?
man.
Is it
If you,
heavier? What's the
hey,
problem? What's going on?
hey, that's the side you need to work on, man. You need to do male Kegels.
You need to male. Hey, there's a thing. Hey, you know what? I'm about to start putting together some classes for male Kegels. So, fellas, you know, male Kegels and libido.
You know
So
what? Hey, that might
if
be.
you
Hey,
ready, come see me.
all seriousness, all joking aside, that is a serious issue for people out there. And I did hear that if you are suffering from erectile dysfunction, um, squats will help with that because it helps to increase blood flow in your lower extremities, just like the beast was saying. And there is some real logic behind that because the harder you work with your lower extremities, the more blood needs to flow in those areas to repair the muscles that you're tearing and building. So everything down there is working. That's why you can get a hernia from lifting the wrong way or too heavy, and that's connected to your balls. So understand that you can, if you're having problems, that, and instead of juicing yourself up with a whole bunch of blue and yellow pills, water
Right.
will do the same thing. It might take a little bit longer, but if you drink 8 glasses of water every single day, okay, you will see a difference in your body all the way around because your body's made up of so much liquid that it's important for lubrication. So, the more fluid you put in your body, the more fluid helps to lubricate and you'll feel better. It Water might not be the fountain of youth, but is definitely the fountain of health. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. In all seriousness, I mean, there are. I don't know. There might be a couple fellows on that listen to the show, but there are a lot of people that suffer with ED, and it's a real thing. But there really are male Kegels exercises.
Hmm.
I've studied. I've done some research on that. So there is male Kegel exercises. Of course, I mean they always talk about exercise being the helper for ED and or stamina or lack thereof.
Hmm.
So, and one of the other things that 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 cause ED is reduction of testosterone, which is naturally built in the body. You do not have to buy a pill, you do not have to get a drink, you do not have to do any of that. So, like AG just said, especially certain exercises ignite your natural testosterone more than others. And to be honest with you, a lot of those testosterone pills. I'm not gonna get to the whole science of this either, but there are a lot of different just like you think about your branch chain amino acids, there are different branches of it. And they done studies, and 9 out of 10 of those different pills that they offer do not cover the full branch to help your testosterone growth or regeneration. But with exercise, obviously, it is a natural thing in the body. It's like amino acids. That's protein. It
Mhm.
is naturally in the body. So all these supplements that they offer you, at least most of them, are things that can be naturally produced that you already have in your body, like a creatine, like testosterone, think protein, things that your body naturally can already has and can be enhanced. You can get, and it's a lot cheaper. It's just going and working out in the gym, at home, at the park, wherever. But yeah, but fellas, check me out. If you need some of that libido training, I got you. Just hit the line teamfitnessmajor.com, and we get you on a program to help with that.
And ladies, because I'm AG the dad, and this is Shit Talking Sundays, and every day is Shit Talking Sundays, I'm going to give you a tip. If your man is not performing up into the standards that, you know, my girl is accustomed to, I'm going to tell you like this. If you want to help his libido, ask him for piggyback rides. Say, hey, baby, can I get on your back? He doesn't know it, but you strengthening up them legs for him, and you trying to help build his testosterone level to help make him a little bit more of a beast in bed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting you know, it's my little hint for you, and it also increases friendly play between you and your significant other. So that's just my tip. That's my fitness. That's AG, the dad's fitness tip of the week. It's not a medical advice. I am not a medical doctor. I'm not even certified in physical fitness. But I will say that it sounds logical that if you get on your man's back and make him carry you around, his legs will get stronger and his testosterone level will go up and his blood circulation will flow more because um, I mean, let's just be honest. If you're not working out, you're a lot of weight to throw around. So he's getting a workout like a so there it is there.
But before you do that, get him with a professional, get him with a trainer, because they also want to make sure his back is strong enough to hold you up.
Yeah. Here's his
You
number.
don't want his back going out, so you want to be careful with that, and you don't want him to drop you, because if he drops you, now you might get hurt.
Right.
So, free consultations, training packages are a great stocking stuffer for whether Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, whatever holidays, or just because you love your husband or your boyfriend or your boo, your bae, whatever they are. It's a great way to get them started on the right path to enhance them. It's going to enhance them, like AG just talked about. It's going to enhance them in the bedroom. It's going to enhance your your enticement because as he develops more muscles, as he gets a little more ripped, as he grows and develops, as he gets more stamina, you're going to become more enticed, more aroused, and you're going to have a more flourishing sex life and relationship. See, so
Mm-hmm.
fitness is a lot is a life coaching. It is sex ed. It is coaching for marriage. So you get all that. That's why it's called personal training. You get so much more than just sweating and bigger muscles. You get so much more. I can't tell you. There's been countless relationships that I've got reports from either the person that I was training or their significant other about how the intimacy and the little spark has come back or it's gotten brighter, and they're more happier together and they do more things together. So there's so many other factors. Like I say, fitness is not just about, you're getting so much more when you invest in yourself with this. You get so much more. You get all things, some of the things I just mentioned. You get mental, physical, emotional. You get so much more benefit, much more than you're paying me for.
Mm-hmm.
Much more than you're paying me for a lifetime, for the rest of your life. Because I'm gonna teach you not just how to get right when you're with me. I want to teach you how to get right when you're on your own, when you're not with me, when you are going about your life. I'm going to teach you how to sustain that and build that and keep that going so that you can flourish for the rest of your life and be more fit and more active and just be in a better feeling inside your body. So,
Yeah, just remember the couple that trains together stays together. Okay. As you perfect your body, not for anybody else, do it for yourself. There's too many people out here exploiting themselves to social media, trying to attract a suitor, I guess, if you want to call it that. But at the end of the day, on both sides of the fence, are you really looking for a guy that is thirsty enough that he's attracted to a girl who is shaking her ass? And on the flip side, fellas, do you want a girl who's out there shaking her ass? Because if she's shaking her ass for you, trust and believe when you get together, that ain't stopping. So, ladies, I mean, you are the root to how a man is really going to act. And if y'all continue to portray yourselves this way, of course, men are going to be the way that they are. Um, so I say to you, get your body right for you. You don't have to exploit yourself. And trust me, you will attract more than you want. Because just like a man, um, if you're out of shape and you go from out of shape to getting in shape, trust and believe the women will come, or whatever it is that you're trying to attract will come, because healthy living attracts healthy living. And um, when people see that you're happy with yourself, it just attracts all of that. So just understand that, I joke a lot on this podcast always just for the fun of it, but at the end of the day, health is something that I want to try to make happen for everybody, including myself, because when you pass away, you want to pass away um, way down the line. you know the healthier you live, the more longer your life will be. And if you have a loved one, you want to live for them. Okay, live for them, but be happy with yourself. Don't worry about impressing nobody else. You get to where you want to be with a body. Look, don't think that your looks is going to carry you your whole life, because when you get older or old, um, looks go away, but your health doesn't, unless you let it go away. You can always stay on top of your health and still look healthy until you don't look healthy anymore. So, that's the one thing I can say. That's why back in the day, I'm sure, fellas, you understand. Hey, man, I put a bag over her head. And ladies, I'm probably sure y'all have said the same thing, man. Just put a bag over his head, or don't look at him. Turn around.
do it in the dark.
Yeah, so um, we all know that there are people out there that are not attracted to you because of the way you look. It's definitely your body, but um, for yourself, get healthy if you can. I'm not saying that everybody's capable of it, but try to live as healthy as you can. It's never too late to start living healthy.
Absolutely.
Uh, Anything else you want to say? Because I know you're ready to go.
No, that was a great closer. Actually, you hit the nail right there, man. Like that. I mean, that was a ninth inning grand slam right there. I mean,
Well, I
I don't
mean,
think I can. I don't think I don't have anything that can go above that right now. So
well, that's why I am AG the dad, the host
right,
of Shit Talking Sundays, because every day is Shit Talking Sundays. Ladies, gentlemen, uh, truly get out there, live for your loved ones. If you don't have any loved ones, well, live for yourself And trust me, you're gonna attract somebody, and you're gonna start creating loved ones because it's just a way of life, you know. So get out there, love one another, love each other. Vince the Beast, thanks for everything that you give us every single week. I tell y'all out there, if you don't speak up and get some of this free 90 free training, fitness training, then you, I mean, you're just here listening, and I appreciate you. I love y'all for the bottom of my heart. But I still want you to be physically fit. So if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out and we'll address them one at a time because you never.
Uh-oh. We lost AG, but for a second. But like he was saying, I mean, you know, your health is your wealth, like he was saying, and the more you invest in it, the more return you're going to get. So another key factor too is that you reach that level. Anybody that has tried to work out. So if you see somebody that is in good shape, especially if you knew them beforehand, um, it or even if you haven't, it just shows once you hear their story, it just shows a level of discipline. And you know, not everyone has that level of discipline. It takes a level of discipline and dedication to achieve health and wellness, and to maintain it. It takes a level of dedication and commitment and discipline. So once you get those, once people someone sees that in you, I mean, that's an attractive factor because you think about all the things going on in the world. You think about finances. You think about all the other factors of life. If you are showing that you are an undisciplined person, if you're showing you're not dedicated, or if you don't have a high enough level, you don't have a high level of commitment. You know, those are factors that go into your relationships as well, whether it's friends or it's loved ones. So it is so important to take care of yourself for more factors than just how you look with your shirt off or in a bikini. AG, we back? AG still down, but yeah, if you know, again, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment because this is a great show, and we want to make it even better. So we want you to get out there and inspire others, just like I'm here trying to inspire you, like AG is trying to inspire you to get out there and make sure that you tell everybody and anybody. You don't even have to know them. Just say, hey, you know, it could be someone that you're working out next to. Hey, you know, there's this fitness tip of the week. You know, they got some free information. It might be beneficial to you. There you go. Boom, you're in it. That's all you gotta do. You drop the line, and you let them pull it. Let them pull themselves in. You don't have to reel them in. Just drop the line. Let them grab it and pull themselves in. Okay.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. I had a power outage at our location, but I'm back.
Hey, there you
I'm
go.
back.
Glad you're back.
I forgot where I was at, but hey, you know, love one, teach one. Appreciate you, Vince the Beast. Shit talking Sundays, Team Fitness Major. Um, till next week.
So next
Anything else
week,
you want to say?
change begins with you, but you have to make that commitment, make that step. Let's go.
You know, the funny thing about that, it does. Change does begin with you. And if you do not take the first step and you're wondering why everybody around you is evolving, it goes back to the Fab Five. Your favorite five people around you, you are the average of your five people around you. And if and what I mean by that, if in case you don't understand, is you have a few people that are not as far advanced as you, and you have a few people that are more advanced than you or more successful, or however you want to look at it. Whatever the situation is that you're looking at, there's usually five people around you that signify you to be able to strive for, and for people that you don't want to be like. If you're really complicit and you're not trying to complacent and you're not trying to do anything with yourself, you're one of the lower five, the lower couple people in somebody else's Fab Five. Okay. So if you're not continuously trying to evolve yourself, keep that in mind, you know, because change begins with you. Your mindset isn't everything, it's just the beginning. Okay. Proper mindset is just the beginning. It's what you do with that mindset that is going to establish you. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm AG the Dad, the Shit Talking Sunday fitness tip of the week. Be blessed. Bless each other as often as you can. Pay it forward. Help each other. If somebody falls down, help them up. And if you're tired and somebody says, man, keep your head up, it gets better. No, if you're tired, put your head down, rest up so that you can keep your head up and make things happen. Peace. I'm out.
Sunday morning drama is calling up my mama. Drama.